Everybody has a story, but not everybody tells the truth about it. This is the Untold Truth, a space where we talk about the things people avoid: trauma, pressure, pain, healing, and growth. The real conversations behind the highlight reels. Because healing doesn't start with pretending, it starts with honesty. And when you're ready to speak, your truth deserves to be heard. Welcome back to the Untold Truth. I'm your host, Joshua Brinkley, and today I have Jarvis Threatt with me. What's going on, Jarvis?
Yes, sir. What it do? Great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to jump right into it. Obviously, we have done a couple episodes here, and we really want to focus on, becoming better than we were yesterday, improving our everyday lives, and just encouraging other people to do better. All right. So I'm going to jump right into it. Jarvis Threatt is a former standout guard whose basketball journey is defined by talent, resilience, and redemption. A product of Highland Springs High School, Threatt made his mark early as an elite scorer, becoming a 1,000-point scorer and earning parade All-American honors as one of Virginia's most decorated high school basketball players. He carried that momentum to the University of Delaware, where he emerged as one of the most versatile guards in the CAA. Over 3 seasons with the Blue Hens, Threatt surpassed 1,000 career points at the collegiate level, solidifying himself as a high-impact scorer and all-around guard. He earned All-CAA and All-Rookie honors and consistently ranked among conference leaders in scoring, rebounds, assists, steals, and free throw percentage. His collegiate career peaked during the 2014 CAA Championship, where Threatt played a pivotal role in Delaware's title run and was named CAA Tournament MVP. Known for his explosive slashing ability, deep shooting range, and elite athleticism, he was widely projected as a future CAA Player of the Year. After his college career ended unexpectedly, Threatt faced professional setbacks overseas, but he refused to let the game go. He fought his way back through the NBA Development League, making national headlines by winning the slam dunk contest with a perfect score, jaw-dropping finishes at the Barclays Center. He later suited up for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, the affiliate of the Houston Rockets, where he once again reached the 1,000-point scoring milestone at the professional level. Off the court, Threatt is a father first. He studied sociology at Delaware and comes from a proud basketball family with family ties to former NBA player Cedar Threatt. Jarvis Threatt's story reminds me of perseverance, faith, and growth. Proof that setbacks don't define you, but how you respond to them does. Appreciate you for coming today, Jarvis.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
Yes, sir.
Everything's great?
Man, happy to be here.
My bad. So we're gonna dive right into it. So, where are you from, Jarvis? Tell me about your background.
All right, man. Born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. At Carrier, Richmond City, zip code in the East Highland Park area. Man, too specific with my address, but man, born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. So, family, I got ties in Petersburg, Virginia.
Okay.
My mother has ties in Baltimore, Maryland. So.
Okay. Word. That's what's up. And I've always known you from Highland Springs. Me playing against Highland Springs, I was always one of the tougher opponents. Tell me about your, growing up in the Highland Springs area. Tell me about, your basketball career at Highland Springs.
Well, I think for us, just coming from that, we had that background of just being a basketball family, honestly. My dad played basketball, and he also played football as well. But my uncle played basketball, so my older brother played basketball. So really, it was just embedded in our family. So, just growing up, our parents put us in the right position to really just take off with basketball early on. And being in the Highland Springs area and getting to learn and be up under the legendary Coach Lancaster, rest in peace. I was just able to really, hone in and lock in on my skill and, just develop as an athlete early.
Yeah. So you mentioned Coach Lancaster, and then your pops, and how did they have, what's the biggest influence that they had on you? Because I know everybody that's been around Lancaster, they had nothing but good things to say.
Well, for my dad, it's just him being able to just put us in the right places as far as early on. He didn't force us to play basketball, me or my brother, but
Okay.
um, just being around the game and him taking us and making sure him and my mom making sure we in practice or going here. Then we kind of just fell in love and it took off.
Okay.
Um, as far as Coach Lancaster, after coming up under my brother and seeing that team at Highland Springs and how well they were and how great they did, obviously winning a state championship. Um, Man, what Coach Land did for me early on, it's something I can't explain. I mean, just seeing and believing in me, and for somebody to believe in you and have that confidence in you that's not family,
Right.
that does, wonders for a kid,
I mean, yeah.
to just really just say, hey man, I got somebody that really believe in me. So that's
Yeah.
what Coach Land did for me early on. He just really believed in me and just say, hey, look, you're gonna get there, you're gonna do this. We just make sure we're gonna take it step at a time. You
Yeah.
can rush me along and
Yes.
he said, "Hey, I want you to do this." He made me play JV early on, ninth grade. Said,
Yeah.
"Your skill, that's cool, but
Yeah.
you got to learn.
You gotta learn the base.
Yeah, I want you to learn and be here at this level
Yeah.
and not rush you along too fast. And once you'll be there at a time."
Okay. Yeah, Coach Lancaster, for you or for me, reminds me of in relation to you, reminds me of Coach Todd White for me.
Okay,
You know?
yeah, it's out.
And so yeah, Todd White's a really good guy, but as far as like that development piece and believing in you before you believe in yourself, basically, I do, I applaud for people like that. Because it's very important to have people like that in your life. That's those people that get you to that next level.
Yeah.
So kudos to Coach Lancaster for doing that. And rest in peace. Um, so moving on, continually talking about how you grew up. When people hear the name Jarvis Threatt, what do you hope they think of you today? Not as a player, but as a man.
As a man, just being resilient. Just whatever life throws at me, whatever I go through, and just always know he's gonna bounce back. He's gonna do what he can to stay positive and just continue moving forward. But I think that's what life's about. I mean, it's gonna be ups and downs in everybody's life, career wise, professional, family, health. Whatever you go through, um, just being able to wake up each day and stay positive and
Yeah.
continue to move forward.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that because, obviously, being a black man in America on his own is tough.
Yeah,
And so for me, that's something that, every day I look in the mirror. I wake up every morning and I look in the mirror and say, hey, let's go get it.
yeah,
You got to, if you want to be anything in life, you got to have that mindset. Um, but that reminds me of, in relation to your answer, tell me about some of the struggles that you came across growing up as a kid. Maybe growing up in Highland Springs or in that area. Tell me about like what type of struggles you kind of face.
Um, well, just growing up around in that area, you see a lot early on. So, just as a kid who's trying to navigate sports and friends, relationship, you in coming in that area, you're privy to a lot early on, whether it's drugs, violence, friends not making the right decisions,
But
partying. I mean, you get exposed to everything so early on that that becomes a struggle in itself. Being a young kid and having a vision and saying, "Hey, look, I want to play basketball.
yeah,
I think I'm good. Other people say I'm good.
yeah,
Um, but now, how do you navigate as far as getting better and going to practice or doing this versus, hey, I'm in seventh or eighth grade. All my friends are talking about going to party,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
school dances.
you.
You got your friends who might be on the other side of the curve who are doing other things and want to,
Gangbanging.
yeah, what gang bang, want to fight, in the drug show. I think that was the biggest struggle for me is just, um, navigating that space while still saying, "Hey, look, I'm in seventh, eighth grade. I still want to have fun. I'm in ninth grade. I still want to have fun. It's high school.
Right.
I still want to get the experience of being a kid, but also I need to stay just as focused on, my craft if I want to be good."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I 100% agree with that. Obviously, I didn't grow up in that area, where the temptation is right there. But
Man.
I went to Freeman, and so I was around. I saw some stuff, like really, you know how white folk be doing it. They like to drink a lot, you know. So I was always around that. But as far as like the other stuff, you know, you have that stuff in the West End, but you know, obviously don't see it as much.
Yeah.
So it was kind of easier for me to kind of navigate that. But definitely, you know, when you're at a young age, and kudos to you for keeping your head on straight during that time, because it's so easy to get lost. You know, it's so easy to go down the wrong road.
And I've seen it so much. I mean, I've plenty of friends,
Yeah.
homeboys, guys I've walked the same hall with in class, guys that were athletes, ex-athletes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you can just see go down that wrong path. So,
Mhm.
and, you know, it honestly wasn't until I, you know, obviously got older and, you know, hindsight is 2020, but
But
to really think back and looking like, man, the stuff that, you know, I was able to dodge,
yeah,
you know, maneuver through, it's just like it's nothing short of a blessing, honestly.
yeah, for sure.
Um, until you go out in the world and really see and navigate and talk to other guys in your sport and playing,
Yeah.
and see how they grew up and see how they went to high school, and it's just like, man, high school, you know, you'll have a classmate, somebody gets, you know, somebody dies or gets
Yeah, yeah. It's not they here's the
schools out in counseling,
Yeah.
it's shootouts in the
Mhm.
parking lot, it's what's going on, and it's just like, man, that's a traumatic experience for any kid. But then you realize it's not like that for everywhere.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
I've been on teams, and I got teammates saying like, oh yeah, I went to private school, and you know what I mean, and I've just lost one friend. You know, I'm like, man, I'm on like I've lost about 9 or 10 in high school, and they're just like, hold on. It's like, man, I could go down the list by the time I'm in college. And you tell me you just
Yeah.
somebody you know from middle school just passed away
Yeah.
with 28.
Yeah.
It's like, man, nah, we didn't already seen that. So being able to navigate that early on, you know, it builds character, but also as you get older, you know, you just understand how blessed you are to make it out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is different. You know, I've had teammates that come from private school. You know, even guys that went to Benedictine or you know, not maybe not private school, but even like Godwin. You know, places
Yeah.
like that, like even Freeman. You know, it's we didn't see certain things, and so for me, I always applaud my mom for doing that. She made sure that she can. She's from Philly, so
Yeah.
when they moved down here, had me. She wanted to make sure she don't want me around that type of stuff because she grew up in it herself.
Yeah.
So
You ain't see those things.
yeah, I ain't see those things, but
That's the way it should be.
that's the way.
That's the way it
Yeah,
should be too.
yeah,
Like, I mean, you should want your kid to not have to see the things you saw.
yeah, exactly,
I mean, that
exactly.
makes sense.
Now, did your brother still play overseas?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
kill it.
is still going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
How you doing that?
yeah. Hey, he's still out there. Hey, kudos to him. Much
Yeah.
love. He's still out in Egypt,
Yeah.
going strong. I think he's on year 14,
That's crazy.
14, 15.
Yo, is LeBron.
Yeah, his best LeBron impression.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still going strong, man. You you just realize, man, when that's all you know your whole life,
Yeah.
playing ball, it's just like for some people, and I'm not saying him, I'm just going off in general.
Mhm.
For some people, it's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Like, what else? Who am I outside of basketball?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always tell people because I got a lot of friends that still playing, obviously, and even my brother. I'm like, hey, life after basketball is gonna hit you regardless.
Yeah.
It don't matter whether, but when you do it, it's gonna hit you because you won't have to wake up. And now, obviously,
Yeah.
the fans ain't clapping, the
Yeah.
foreign, the lifestyle's different, it's slower.
Mhm.
You know, the women might have
Yeah,
disappeared.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's different. So, you know, everybody's gonna deal with it the way they deal with it, but you know, at some point it's gonna happen. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, but yeah. So,
Yeah. So I brought him up because, speaking about your upbringing, how did he play a part in how you grew up?
just being able to see somebody do it first.
Okay.
You know, obviously being able to navigate when you in seventh, eighth, or ninth, and you're coming up, and you got somebody that's already in 11th or 12th, you know,
Right.
that's older, that's been through it,
Yep.
that you watch win a state ring, that you watch go to practice.
Yep.
That you know, I can remember getting out of middle school practice in sixth or seventh grade, not going home,
Yeah.
but going to their practice and watching them. You know, obviously parents had to pick them up or whatever. So,
Yeah.
Going to watch their practice or going to their games, it just inspires you even more.
Yeah.
So, just getting that inspiration and seeing them do it and see him win and then him going off to college and doing it, it just further my love for the game.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, if I want to see that or achieve
Yeah.
that, then I need to work as hard as I can.
Right. Yeah. Because Jay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, J3. Because I remember playing him in college, but I always remember, because he's a little bit smaller than you,
Yeah.
but he bring it every time. He go bust your ass.
He feisty, man. Predator.
Yeah. But so he kind of gave you that blueprint, like actually there in the flesh, growing up, and that's always good to have around. So, well, kudos to him for keep going. That's kind of crazy that he's still playing.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, keep going as long as you can.
Yeah. So the wheels fall out, right?
Ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah. How does it feel to sit here now and talk about your journey with some real distance from it?
Well, like I said, hindsight is 2020. So obviously, looking back, it's not from a state of regret, but it's just like, hey, now that I know better, the saying goes, if you knew better, you do better. So now that you know better, it's some things you would have tweaked to navigate, but that's what I can give to my son as he navigates into that world and comes up into basketball or whatever sport or whatever he decides to do. Um, I can just help navigate and not from a place of guessing or reading about it. I can navigate from a place of actually going through it.
Yeah, experience.
And experience,
Yeah.
experience is what gives you wisdom. So, I can give that gift to my son because, once you get up there, I didn't have that. I had to learn from other guys or read about it or ask questions. So, being a father, hey, I can bring that down to my son. So.
Yeah. Speaking about your son, first of all, I always applaud people who, especially men, I applaud fathers who are, especially Black fathers, who are there and doing the thing. Tell me about your experience with being a father.
It's amazing, man. It's really eye opening, and I always say, and until you have a child of your own, it's hard to explain that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like every day of your life since we've been kids, we've always woke up and said, "Hey, what do I want to do today? What should I do? How is this going to affect me?
Yeah.
How does this make me feel?"
Yeah.
Our whole life has been about us. You know what I mean? Since we've been kids.
Yeah.
So, and then this day happens, and you have a kid, and it's just
It
like
ain't about you no more.
you're no longer the center
Yeah.
of that attention. You're no longer the center of that bubble, and you're
Yeah.
like now this kid, this little this little human coming to you like, and they're the center of your world. You wake up and it's just like, what do I have to do for them today? What do they want to eat?
Yeah.
How's these actions? What job? Where do I want to live? How does this affect them? So it's no longer about you.
Right.
And that's not to say that, you know, you shouldn't still prioritize yourself because you should.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hey man, a huge part of your life is gonna be even when you're not with them. It's like thinking about, hey man, what are they doing? What's fast? So man, it's a blessing and a great feeling.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. I mean, again, I always applaud people who have kids, but especially Black fathers who are there doing the thing. So kudos to you, bro.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Um, so how old is he?
6.
6 years old.
6.
Okay. And is he in school yet?
Yep. So he's in first grade and he's finally getting into the basketball world.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. So it feels good.
Yeah.
Not pushing him, but just like, hey, if you like this and you enjoy it, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
And he really has taken a liking to it.
Yeah.
He looks forward to going to practice. He looks forward, and I tell him, and I can give him some of the wisdom, like,
Right.
hey, look, at practice at 7:00. We don't get there at 7:00.
No.
Nah, we getting there at 6:30, 6:20, and that's when you can stretch with shoes on. You can start doing some of the stuff. You can shoot before everybody else. And,
Exactly.
right now he won't understand why, but as he gets older,
He'll get it.
it'll be routine. And
Mhm.
honestly, that's 90% of getting ahead of the kids
Correct.
growing up. And that's what I always had. It was like, okay, well, you get here on time and do that, or like, you leave right after practice.
Yeah.
I'm just to stay back and work a little bit,
Yeah.
just because I just love playing basketball.
Yeah.
It is, and then when the season rolled around, you see why it's a difference.
Right. Yeah. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference between Jarvis and You know, your average point guard. You know, and
And you see why.
they
So
see
you
what
yeah, it's the mindset early on. I think that's what I always had early on.
yeah, yeah, and I agree with that. Same thing for me. You know, being an undersized big man or what
Yeah.
have you. I had to by default I had to put the work in. You know,
Yeah.
I had to be there. I was always told, you know, if you're on time, you're late. You know, if you're early, you're on time. So that motto sticks with me. And I was late today. I was late here today. But I try to stick by that as much as possible. But that's definitely
Yeah.
a quality to continue to
For sure.
yeah. Tell me about like your accolades with Highland Springs.
Um, some that I can remember, I think you touched on it. High school parade All American, um, all Metro Player of the Year, first team, um,
The whole time.
times the Smash District Player of the Year. I mean, I think I pretty much got everything, humbly speaking, except for Virginia State Player of the Year, um, which Dorian Finney-Smith won, and yeah, they won back-to-back state championships. Um, you know, and they ended up beating us. So I think, I remember Land came in, he said, look, they gonna give them. I was like, I mean, it makes sense. He went back-to-back. He got the big name, he going to real high major. So but other than that, I think I pretty much I think I cleaned up. Yeah, I think I cleaned up everything around here. Um, humbly speaking. So.
Yeah. Now you had an injury in high school. Now that I think about it, I don't
Not too many people know that. How do you know?
uh, no,
So yeah, so in 10th grade, here's ironic. In 10th grade, I was getting ready to, I'm at that point where obviously Land's like, hey man, this kid is talented, very talented. We got other guys that are older that are, that want to play, but I gotta have him on the floor. So I think my first game ever, I think we went out to LC Bird. I had like 20 points off the bench or something, man. And I think the next game we're getting ready to start, and I end up in practice trying to dunk in 10th grade, came down, fractured my ankle.
oh damn.
Fractured my ankle. Really missed a huge chunk of my 10th grade year.
Yeah.
Came back kind of late, and by then it was just like, hey, if I played, I got in here and there or whatever, but I was really a shell of myself just coming from an injury day.
Yeah. Okay.
But honestly, I can say, which is weird, after I fractured my ankle, my athleticism took off.
Yes.
I went through yeah, I went through rehab. I went through rehab at this clinic, man, and they helped strengthen
Everything.
everything else around my legs, from my knees, quads, thigh, hamstring.
Yeah.
Just taking that time and that patience to really work on stuff that I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. Like, from a therapy side.
Yeah.
And yeah, I came back and it was like I went from trying to dunk to now I'm like, okay, now I can no, I'm a dunker. Man. Like, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, random. I ain't know I had these bunnies, but apparently I do.
Yeah, it was just like, and I couldn't my body frame at that age. I'm just this little skinny kid. I'm not short, but I'm not like tall. I'm not your height. You know what I mean? In high school, so it's just like, I really took off athletic wise coming from that. The rest is just like history.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I had I said my resources, but Rock told me that.
Okay.
Yeah, Rock told me that. He- You came up back when yeah, played with the ABA for that one game or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was late on that way.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember talking to Rock during that time. It literally just popped in my brain. But he said he don't know what happened with Jarvis got injured when he came back. It's like he had springs in his legs, you know?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just really took off.
Yeah.
It's shocking too, because we were just like, man, I did do some stuff.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a little bit more advanced.
Right.
But I'm just learning that hey, I can hang in the air a little longer than everybody. I'm up and under the round. Hey, I can dunk. They throwing me out in my everybody like what?
What's going on? He wasn't doing this last year.
10th grade, 11th grade, at least for us, like, man, we ain't even really lifting weights. Like Highland Springs, we just got guys, we just pure athletic. We got football players, I did at high school. Some guys play football, play. So
Okay.
Yeah, everybody was kind of like just caught off guard.
Yeah.
We already knew like, oh, he could play
He's
basketball.
nice,
But
but
now
yeah,
he
nah. Yeah.
like Nancy doing all this dunking.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
going
What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, we're going through the rehab process because I'm familiar with that. Actually, I pretty much got hurt every season. There was always something going on, but that process coming back. Take me through that process. I know you kind of already talked about it, but was that process hard for you, or did you struggle with that?
Um, Not as much the process of getting back healthy. Where I struggle was mentally just missing a huge chunk of the season as
Yeah.
undergrad.
Yep.
Like like I said, for me growing up, how I looked at the game and how I approached it and navigating different stuff, man, I was really serious about it. All I ever dreamed about was being in the NBA.
Right.
My idol NBA wise was Kobe Bryant. So
Okay.
obviously, anybody who looking up to him, there's a certain standard.
No, you.
All you hear about in
Yeah.
interviews and how he, his preparation to the game. So, man, that was my idol. So for me, the toughest part was just sitting out.
Sitting out.
Yeah, like going and watching games and knowing like if we lose by one or even if we win, I'm happy and I'm just like, man, I want to play.
I
But I got
wanna
this
play,
burning. I gotta play basketball. Like
yeah.
school for me was just like, school's cool, but
Yeah.
I gotta play back. That's my outlet at that
Right.
point. So that was the hardest part. Coming back from injury was just like, hey, look, I had great therapists. And I forget the name of the facility, and I want to shout them out so bad because they were so great. They actually worked with me for like 7 or 8 years.
Oh, yep.
Just with anything, even in college, if I got
Oh, for real? Damn.
yeah, had an ankle injury. Yeah, they were great friends of the family. And I would come back there and they would just push me in and give me some therapy and help me with any like ankle movement,
Yeah.
anything. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so that part was just listening to, hey, they're professionals. They know what they're doing, listening to them. And then for me, that work ethic.
Yeah.
Tell you to go home and make sure you do 20 calf raises or make sure you do this to strengthen your ankle at night or stand on a ball or something and
Yeah.
roll your ankle out, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now speaking on the work ethic part of it, so some would say that Jarvis is not the hardest worker though, and but it sounds to me like you was doing stuff behind the scenes though.
yeah. So if you would say that, then you really just you don't know me that.
That is. Yeah.
Or either you came following me later in the basketball journey.
Yeah.
So, and just being honest, I can admit later on and becoming a pro and some of the stuff, like it's just when it starts becoming a business and it's less about your fun and your joy. It takes the fun and the joy away. And I'm pretty sure we'll speak about that a little later on. But
Yeah.
early on, oh no, work ethic. Oh,
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff. I got YouTube videos from
Yeah.
I'm in the gym.
Constantly.
Yeah, middle school, high school,
Yeah.
and even going into that college period, for me, the work ethic was off the chain
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get that good without any work.
You got to think like I want just this polarizing figure, and I'm just bigger than everybody else. Yeah, no, like I literally
Yeah.
had to work.
Yeah.
Sure it's some natural ability and just being a little athletic, like we said, but.
Yeah.
I had to work to do better. I played against older guys. I played everywhere older guys. And that's what was just like having your brother, having guys, Jamal, Brandon,
Yeah.
Tyrese Rice,
Yeah.
even at the
Have
time,
you heard this?
Eric Manning, man, I was going down to VCU and playing with those guys in like 9th and 10th grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like when you do that,
Yeah. You just.
you're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Then when you come back to your level, it's just like, oh no,
Oh, this. Yeah.
I'm gonna eat this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. I mean, playing up. I played up too, but playing up definitely helps you, get to that next level.
Yeah.
Bigger, stronger, faster guys. All right, well, I'm gonna go play my age group and kill.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely.
That's probably my biggest advice to the younger guys.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think I will probably touch on that a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah, play up or just play with people that are better than you
That's it.
early on.
Yeah.
Because the
That's
first,
take up on
yeah,
transitioning from high school to college. So there you both are blue him.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Delaware. Shout out to Delaware.
Yeah.
Tell me about that going from high school into Delaware. I know there was a segment, or not a segment, but there was a time frame where I want to say one of the coaches called me, and that they said, "What do you think about Jarvis?" I said, "Yo, bring his ass up." Gee, what do you ask me for? You know, tell me about that transition.
So, yeah, even getting there, it's you're anxious, you can't wait to start your new journey. And it's a little bit of nervousness, but for me, I just relied on my work ethic and then obviously like talent. So
Yeah,
just when I get up there, man, it's basketball, basketball, basketball. Let's get to practice. Can we work out in the summertime? And then the other stuff, like, you'll learn that. You'll learn being in college, having freshmen, you're gonna hang out, you're gonna party.
right.
Man, I even, and I gotta show you love too. And that's one of the things that made me come on here, man. You kind of just showed me and Marvin the way,
Yep.
being right there across the street. I think it
Yep.
was in sophomore on. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, we had a lot of great times.
Yeah.
So, man, you showed us a lot of love. So it's only right we come back and show it.
Appreciate that, man.
But yeah, man, that college, you finally in the big leagues. You playing against people stronger than you, faster than you, better than you. How do you make your mark?
Yeah.
And the only way you do that is if you get your tail at the jail.
Yeah. Now, did you speaking on the lifting piece before we continue that segment? Did you lift a lot? I don't remember you lifting a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah. Now I ain't look what you list.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe that's what it's.
So after one, they used to separate us. So
That's what it was.
yeah, the
Okay.
bigs, y'all go down there and y'all throw away all them. Yeah, all that. Yeah. Throw the cars around. But I like to always think I was a little bit of a bigger side for a point guard.
Yeah.
For a guard. Yeah, like so. Obviously I want the biggest point guard, but I'm still like 6'2", and I love to live, love the squad, love the bench. Um, Getting that piece of me was the biggest thing from like high school to college, because this again, like I was a skinny little high school
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
My natural body type is to be slim.
Mhm.
So freshman year is just like, man, now you getting bumped around. How do you go finish?
Yeah.
Because you can't just rely on athletics now. Because
Yeah.
if somebody across is older, that's a junior, you go just to the athletic.
Yeah.
Bigs are bigger.
Mhm.
So definitely hitting the weights my freshman year. My jump from freshman to sophomore year, at least weight wise for me, was probably like 6 to 7 pounds.
Okay.
And that might not sound like a lot, but
It's
it's
still
a lot for me.
yeah,
Yeah,
on the basketball court, there's a huge difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was extreme. It was a lot for me. So
Yeah.
that was a big transition for me that really helped.
So speaking of Delaware, tell me about your accolades at Delaware. What'd you do up there? I remember seeing you play, even when I was going to play, I was like, yo, what is he on? Like, wait, how he just finished that?
You gotta get to it.
Yeah.
I think Delaware is funny. I spoke to the guy who broke my record. Devon had the freshman scoring record, sadly, before me. Shout out, sad. And then I think I broke it with a 30-point game or something like that. Then I broke my own record against Butler
Like,
with 31. And then I think years later, I think Ryan Daly came through and broke it. But so I had the freshman scoring record for like, a few years or something like that. But yeah, and then sophomore and junior, I think third team All-CAA. I did at that point get into a little bit of trouble my sophomore and junior year, just with not going to school. Again, hindsight is 2020. It wasn't the best with school, but I think that kind of derailed me from. It took me off of the All-CAA teams my junior year, so I wasn't eligible. But I probably would have been first in All-CAA.
yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind, let's dive into
Oh yeah.
that situation, because I don't know nothing about
Yeah.
that. What happened with that?
Honestly, a lot of people probably don't. Maybe some people that I know or I've talked to know.
Yeah.
But so, Delaware at that time, again, basketball and probably smoking and smoking marijuana. It was looked at and it was villainized. Obviously,
Yeah.
definitely being a black kid and coming from where we come from and tattoos and all that and how we act. They associated that with being a thug or thuggish. So,
Right.
yeah. So I end up failing not NCAA, two Delaware drug tests, not NCAA. And, you know,
That's crazy.
hindsight is 2020 because again, the emotions I felt then are a lot different than now. Obviously now maturing and growing up, like, hey, shouldn't even put yourself in that predicament. But
Yeah.
then I felt a little
Pissed off, bro.
then I was pissed because I felt targeted. Because again, I don't know how it is now, but back then it was school drug test, NCAA.
Right.
NCAA was the one that's the big one.
That's the big one,
You
yeah.
can't fail that. You can't do nothing with
Yeah.
any of that. School,
But
they choose their own rules.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. And I felt like, if you have a star player at your school, again, this is me thinking in that time,
Yeah.
why are you targeting me?
Yeah.
You
What,
know?
what's the motive behind this?
Yeah, because again, and I I hate to make it a race thing because at that school, the students and people, and honestly, people in the community there, I love Delaware. I love the people in the community
Yeah.
there. I love the students, my classmates, some lifelong friends that we were able to make. But it's just like the administration part during that time. It was
Yeah.
just like, so only the black guys
You getting drugs this?
are getting drug tested. Like,
Weird.
that's a little weird. It makes you side eye. I don't want to call it a race thing, but it makes you side eye.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, it's so frustrating because it's like the school is doing this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, on the court, we're bringing the school so much notoriety.
Yeah. Right.
And then before the second one, like we just won the tournament, and we went to the NCAA for the first time in 12 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, so you mean to tell me the administration said, yeah, let's
Drug
sell
test.
Judge Jarvis?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just like,
Yeah.
and then you got the power to make your own rules and say, okay, well, we won't kick you out of school. We'll, suspend you for a semester or, whatever it is. And, you can basically make your own rules then from the school aspect. So,
Yeah.
then it was a lot of emotion, a lot of frustration with how that was handled. But, hindsight, I shouldn't even put myself in that predicament.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, there's two sides to that
Yeah.
because for me, you a kid, man.
Yeah.
And it's almost like because you know places like that they Freeman like that too. So my thing is with that, you kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Because this is y'all best player.
Yeah.
One of y'all best players, and so why you targeting him? So I mean, I never understood that concept other than to try to make an example out of somebody.
And a chance to so here's the funny thing. Obviously, we got a chance to repeat because, I'm still coming back. At that point, I'm probably the alpha guy in the league.
Yeah.
Sadler's gone, Usher's gone.
Yeah.
So it's just like you would do that and get rid of your star. And then I think they end up firing or getting rid of the AD. Like the next one. So I'm just like, man, like that guy really, how I felt then is like, man, that really he really changed changed the trajectory of my life right there.
Yeah.
But again, maturing and on now, it's just like, hey, I shouldn't even have gave him.
Right.
I shouldn't have been in that predicament.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
off what I'm coming from. And then, to see how the world views smoking now, how the NBA punt ban draws, how play for kids, they can do it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember having an NBA workout with a guy from Alabama. I forget his name. He said, "Yeah, I fell 4 in my school." He said, "But it wasn't the NCAA, so they just."
So they good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow.
Come on, bro.
I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like the high majors,
Yeah,
they get it.
Yeah.
They get it because there's no way at Duke you finna sit one of your guys, your star players for that.
Yeah.
Unless it's the NCAA. And the
Right.
NCAA are cracked down, but in school. So, I always just felt like, man, at that point, man, it's frustration. It's like emotion.
Yeah. How long did you sit out?
So the first one that I failed, I had to sit out a month during the season.
Okay.
And even then it was like weird tinkering with the AD. And I just feel like, even stuff like walking past me in the hallways, won't even speak.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like how just that upper administration, that AD, and how it was viewed as just like, oh man, even being suspended and still showing up to the game to support my teammates.
Yeah.
And I think, I remember something Devon said to me, he was like, man, I gained a lot of respect for you during that. Because even still being suspended, it's easy to just sit home and not.
Yeah, no, yeah,
You still came to the gym to show and be front row and center and support us. And,
yeah.
you know, I honestly had to believe too that some bit like our AB. I remember him staring at me across the name, looking like he wasn't happy with that. Like this kid shouldn't be here.
That's so crazy.
And it's like, man, I'm just supporting it. I just need to
For
come.
my teammate.
My brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I made that mistake, but I'm a leader, man. I'm always how I'm in the locker room. I'm gonna be a leader, and that's just one of my things. Like, look, no, I'm still support my team.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, that's great. I didn't know you was going through all that.
man, it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, even with like him calling me and I'm talking to him on the phone, like I'm like, even conversation me and him have had like, man, like we gonna do this, so that's it. Yeah, well, you feel, what I mean? It just kind of sounded like you happy about it.
Right. Yeah.
You don't sound like somebody who just brought all this attention to the program.
Yeah,
So
that's so crazy. So then it happened twice. Well, the second time it happened, how long did you sit out another month?
no. So the first one, the rules were there at that point. The first one is if you fail on drug test, you got to sit out a month.
Okay.
So I had to sit out a month, and I missed a couple games on the season because it's a month long.
Okay.
The second one, you're done at the college.
Okay.
So that's what happened. When I failed my second one, I was done. And then I heard once I left, I heard the next year they changed the rule.
Come on, bro. So wait.
So now if you fail two, no.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so if you fail two, they changed the rule the next year. If you fail two, that you would just only have to sit out a semester. They changed that after I left, and I'm just like,
That's so crazy. That's wild.
yeah, I never I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Man.
That's crazy.
it's just like,
Because you could have went somewhere else.
yeah,
If you
yeah. So that's the next piece. So I did have that option.
Okay.
So now, getting a little, after that, it's just like navigating emotions and packing up and getting ready to leave from college and all your friends and connections that you built. That was emotional for me as a kid.
Right.
Again, we're in college, but
Yeah.
we're still young
Still
adults,
kids.
still learning. So that was emotional for me, just that uncertainty. But then I weighed my options, and I had a bunch of high major schools calling.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah.
The problem is, again, just the time that I grew up in, it's not how it is today, where these kids transfer every year and they don't have to sit out.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So if I would have went to another school, I just would have had to sit out a whole year.
You weren't trying to do that.
Yeah, it's just like, again, like I said, I got a burning passion.
Yeah, I gotta play ball.
Me in school, I wasn't the best person in school.
Yeah.
So it's just like to go a whole year only school.
Yeah.
I don't even know how like my mental frame would have been.
Yeah.
Like I was already,
So
I was already at that age relying on smoking weed and doing that. So then I take away basketball.
yeah.
What would I have turned to?
Yeah.
Drinking. We were already drinking.
You already.
Yeah, at that point for me, it was more smoking than drinking. But teams LSU, Memphis.
Yeah.
I want to say Virginia Tech, UVA came for me after my freshman year.
Okay.
But them teams. It's funny. I remember LSU and Coach Cheeks. Rest in peace, Coach Cheeks. Man, I feel like we getting over.
Yeah, we actually getting old. Like also.
Yeah, Coach Cheeks pulled me in arm and was like, "Look, LSU just called me. I got them online. I got a good friend out there. They said we want you. We don't care what your GPA is, but we don't care none of that." And I was just like, "See, that's
the love you supposed to.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
As a kid, you're like, man, that's how
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be, because that's what happened at Duke, at UNC, at Kansas.
Yep.
They make exceptions for those guys.
Yeah.
So but then I just got to the point I said, man, I'm hyped now. CAA, I was showing up on mock drafts, second round.
Yeah.
So I'm hyped now, and I just put my name in there.
Oh yeah.
So needed to sign a contract to go out Greece.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, started my pro journey. I was just like, man, still out a year.
Yeah. Go get this money.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
your talent and your skills are what they are right now.
Yeah.
Or you can sit out a year and go to school. But at high majors back then is a little bit different. It was the traditional way. So they could recruit over you or whatever it is. So it's like you taking on risk. Who knows if that same school gonna still want me, or they not gonna go find top 4, top 5 guard
Right.
the year that I'm
That's
yeah, so I'm just like, I'm hot now.
yeah.
Let me go.
That's smart.
Yeah.
You know, that's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a crazy journey right there.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Like to navigate that, you gotta think like I don't, my pops didn't play professionally, so it's just like, I can talk to him about it, but I don't have nobody that knows how to navigate. My brother at that point is like, he didn't have, the NBA ceiling of them coming down and looking in that possibility. So it's just like, I got to figure out how to navigate to talk to my family and make a decision. So
Yeah.
go agent shopping. Like,
Yeah. That's crazy. You know, like you said, the kids nowadays, they got it made.
Mhm.
They got it made to the point where, they even getting. I mean, what the kids getting out of VCU that sit on the bench? They get 300,000.
yeah, the minimum is 300,000, and that's VCU. So you got to know what the other school minimum. I mean, it's kids. If you averaging 2-3 points,
Yeah,
you getting 300,000, 400,000.
that's crazy.
I would have made bank.
Yeah.
It would have made bank.
Yeah.
We'd have,
We'd have been rich as hell.
yeah, we was.
Yeah.
It's just a different world. That's why I always joke. Man, I got a lot of friends that are now college coaches, and even like some of our old coaches. Martelli, VCU, Coach Ross still coaching.
Yep.
So I always joke like, man, if my son come along, I need my NIL. My name gonna be in that clause.
Nah, true.
Yeah, I'm like, real, I gotta, cause
Yeah, I gotta get my. Y'all owe. Matter of fact, y'all owe me.
that I went through, and I got friends that are coaches, and then I'm in group chats with and stuff, and I won't put their name just because I don't want it there. But they're like, man, the going rate for somebody averaging 14, 15 is like close to $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
You there about
out sophomore year,
Yeah.
junior year I went up to 18. And they're like, oh yeah, they, guy just transferred for 18 here to VCU. He gave, 700-800. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's the day. How much money these universities make off of us? They should have been doing this.
should have. I agree.
Yeah.
And it honestly, it was happening. It just was happening under the table. And so, like we said, with the big schools. So, like, there's a lot of big programs that got caught flagged for paying under the table. But them UNC, Kansas, and all that, and they keep landing the top #1 plan. You best believe that they guaranteeing them, hey, we'll buy you this car, we can get this, your parents get a ticket. They know stuff under the table. So I think with the NIL, it finally leveled the playing field.
It did.
Yeah. So now everybody can just see it. Yeah. It's a great con for college kids.
It is.
Yeah, I don't even think it's considered college no more. It should be looked at as pro.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be.
Once you get paid to do it,
Yeah.
it's professional.
It's a professionalism. Yeah.
It's a business.
Yeah. It is a business. Yeah. That's 100% correct. Once you start to get paid for something, that's where it becomes a profession.
Yeah.
And it's so wild to see. And I kind of wish I was, 5 years younger.
Yeah, nah, you were ahead of me a lot. Look.
What,
Yeah,
10?
yeah, about 10.
About 10 years younger?
Man, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes, but honestly, and I was talking to somebody else about this. I said, man, that's probably how Charles Barkley, Bill Wells, Bill Russell, all of them older guys feel about the guys in the NBA now that are
Getting crazy.
they're not even that good and they making 100 million.
Yeah.
The eighth, ninth down the bench is getting 80 million.
Yeah.
You had to be a superstar to make that back then. So they probably feel the same way. So as our turn.
No, yeah.
I tell you what, my son,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, right?
Yo, you got
Go ahead, right? Jarvis Threatt in there.
Yeah, Pop get unlimited tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, son get 20K a month, Pop 10K, 2,000 that'll come to Pop. Something like,
Nah,
you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
So I'm glad somebody getting it. They getting it. And a lot of the times it's a young Black adult. So it's putting money in to our culture and,
Yeah. So you said you went over to play in Greece after you left Delaware. Tell me about that experience.
Man, it was a great experience. Again, man, I got a crazy journey.
Yeah.
This is funny. And I mean, you hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Some of this. So it's just like, you never even know how much somebody been through. So, man, I went out to Greece. I started playing out there for a little bit. I got a crazy buzz. We're going through training camp. I'm in the first league in Greece on a team that, okay team, but they're not one of the top 10. They're not a EuroLeague team or anything like that, a Bill Cup. So we're out in Greece for about 2-3 months. How about they go on a lockout and the new owner of the team and the old owner of the team start getting into it and throwing shots at each other in the media and like newspaper ads. And the whole owner ended up saying, "No, I don't want to sell my team to the new owner."
Good.
So I never got to play a game with that team, but just practice, training camp, and we just out there, we sitting up there held up. I got contract. I'm like, with my money, they bring me money in brown paper bag. Like, yeah, this is for the night, 2 nights. I remember coming back, my hotel room, my door, my keys to the room locked. I'm wandering in Greece, in Athens, Greece at 2 in the morning. I'm out at 2 in the morning trying to get in touch with my Greek agent. Like, look, they locked my hotel room. The team ain't pay the fund. Yeah, so I'm just walking around Greece, 2 in the morning.
Homeless, basically.
Yep, waiting for them to hit me back and get my hotel stuff straight. So I was locked out of my room for like 6-7 hours.
Wow.
At 2 in the morning, I'm country around. But Greece is like up, like, so it's open. So I go to McDonald's. I walk in like a little club or something. I'm just walking around like it's crazy. And then my agent finally hit me at like 2:40 or something a.m. and was just like, "All right, we cleared it, we paid it. You go back to the room now, whatever." So like,
That's crazy.
but anyway, so that team ended up, the owner didn't sell it to the new owner. So all the players of that new owner, the contract, all of that was done. It was broke. But I had such a buzz in Greece. The Greek agent said they took me to a EuroLeague team, one of the biggest teams in EuroLeague, Panathinaikos. I was like, yo, you gotta be to see this guy. You need to get him on. So I went and flew with them to Lithuania for like a preseason tournament. And that's like the NBA over there. So again, all of this is happening. I've been 21 for all of a couple months. I'm supposed to be in college. Here I am. And this is like the NBA, like EuroLeague, anybody knows in the basketball world, EuroLeague is the NBA outside of it.
Right.
So, man, yeah, I'm on this big team. We got all these players making $1 million, making $500, and they like, yo, youngin', hey, if you stick here, you set for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
Even guys I used to watch when in high school, like DeMarcus Nelson was on that team from Duke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went out there, cheerleaders, they pulling up in Lambos. Right?
Yeah. It was like that.
Yeah, it's like that. Like the women, all of that, they smiling, they waving from the stage. I'm just like, yo, this is really crazy, a real eye opener. Didn't play a lot out there, got in the game a little bit, got my shot smacked off the glider. Like when it just was like an eye opener for me.
Yeah.
But that's my journey, and I don't trade it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so end up coming back. DeMarcus Nelson was out injured. And he flew home to the States to get checked by his doctor.
Okay.
Got cleared because the team out there wouldn't clear him, the doctor. Came back. Once they cleared him, they was like, yeah, we would kept you, but he got cleared. So man, it's just like how small of something like that.
Yeah.
If you stay on that team for a year, your career is made while you're like you're gonna get the bag thrown at you.
Yeah.
It's like the NBA player coming over to Europe, they automatically give you the bag.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like how small of if that would have went in my favor.
Yeah. Right.
So that led me to the G League.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's
It's crazy.
yo. What's mind blown?
Yo.
That's crazy. Because I mean, I couldn't imagine. First of all, being in the country by yourself, basically. At any age, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Just walking the streets. But 21 years old, you just went through the bullshit with the Delaware.
Yep.
You over there trying to figure things out, and you can't even get in your own room. That's crazy. So tell me about the transition from that fiasco coming back over here to the G League.
Man, your mind just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like mentally wise. Like even outside of basketball. Like for me, basketball is always the easiest transition. Because again, I rely on my work ethic, my talent, my skill. So at that point, that's the easiest thing for me.
But
it's mentally and emotional. Like you just said, you just come from the college situation. I ain't even been 21 all 5 months.
yeah.
So I'm still like, young, grown.
Baby.
You dealing with that. You dealing with trying to have a girl back home. You dealing with the friends that
tough.
you know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
dealing with friends you ain't heard from. College, you looking at all your college friends hanging out at the party on Saturday, going to grottos. You know what I'm saying? And here I am, like, just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So it's a lot mentally. So, and I think that go back to the first question you asked me. That's why I say how I want to be remembered outside of basketball and being a player is just being resilient.
Yeah.
Because even then, every day I do week, I'm like, things ain't going right, but
Yeah.
you got to figure it out. The next thing gonna work. The next big thing.
Yeah.
So, man, that's how that transition was for me. And then the team in Greece, and it's like, man, I was this close away from being set. I mean, all the OGs, all my old guys, like, yo, you play on that team for 1 year, you gonna be set.
Yeah.
You gonna be set. So, man, I'm just like, that small thing didn't go in my favor. I'm like, man, I got to pray more. I gotta something got to break. Yeah, man. So everything hung on, but thankfully, I just always had a great family. We're close knit. My brother, he was over in Europe at the time and trying to work on his career as well. So I got to speak with him, my family, speak with him. Some of the older guys that I know, the Tyrese Rices that were, they were calling and FaceTiming, hey man, how you doing this and that?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, transition to G League. Then it's just like another whole different style of basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about the team that you played for, Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, Rio Grande
Rio-
Vipers.
Okay, the Vipers. Sorry.
Yeah. So, man, shoot, one of anybody that's playing in the G League, one of the best places you can play at. So I gotta put it top 5. Just because they expanded a couple more teams now than when I was, and so I don't know what those things in their facilities. But Rio Grande, man, it's always 85, 90 degrees. It's almost like what, that's weather I dream of, like in Miami or something. It's always 85, 90 degrees. Their low is like 75 out there. You can't bring up being in McAllen, Texas without the women, all that team.
Oh yeah, fire.
And they love us down there. They on Vipers, so they looking at it. This is our pro team. They thinking, it's NBA guys coming back and forth. They like these guys got money, so they just made it that easier for us. I ain't gonna get it, but it's great down there.
I'm picking up the pick now.
Yeah, love McAllen, Texas. Love it. Yeah, just a great area, great fan base. Food, that experience, just being in G League, I always tell people, man, it's like a mini NBA.
Yeah.
It honestly is just a mini NBA.
Yeah.
You're not getting $100 million contract, but you just on that scale. The women that go and hang and follow behind NBA players, it's just a different scale.
Yeah.
So it might just be a little bit down, but it's scale above being like at home or just, average worker. You know what I mean? So the G League was love, man. And the Vipers was love too. Shout out them, man. That was a situation where the people, the organization, they really cared for me and showed love.
That's love. That's dope.
Yeah. So coming from my two, without just coming from, that was like amazing.
Yeah. You was hype.
That was amazing. Yeah, man. The coaching, the assistant coaches. I got to shout out Chris Johnson. Now he's an NBA trainer out of LA. So he worked with D-Wade, he's worked with LeBron, he's worked with just about almost everybody. Jimmy Butler in the NBA now, he was one of them, like my OGs out there. He just giving me the knowledge on who knew to do that.
So, tell me about your time there. What did you do when you was on the team? People probably already know this, but you won the slam dunk contest. Tell me about the accolades you did.
Yeah. So just being there, my first year was probably my most dominant year, and I had to learn how the politics are in the NBA, in the G League, and just being around the NBA franchise. So what I mean by that is, let's say this game I had 25, 30 points. So you expect the next game, like, hey, you still gonna play like you just had 25, 30 points. And then the next game comes and they send somebody down from the Rockets and you play 2 minutes. As a kid and not understanding that, you're frustrated. I'm furious. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, I just had 25.
You know what I mean? To the point you're looking at the coach like,
Yeah.
yo, like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, you're frustrated, but then you learn, and that's why I said the assistant coach, Chris Johnson, was like in my ear, like, hey, when they send them down, they gotta play. They
Right.
drafted those guys.
Right.
They paid them. They gotta play when they come down.
Right.
What you need to do is just know that, hey, just look at this like you ain't gonna play too much. Just stay ready. Because once they go back up, now you back in the game, and they like give you the ball for 35 minutes and say, all right, go win us the game. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to
That is
for a kid and for fans of the game, you don't really understand that because it happens in the actual NBA.
it does. Yeah.
Like a guy will be playing, he'll get 35 minutes of this game, and then that team he'll get 18, and you'll be like, why I ain't do that? I'm scoring on my parlay and all of this.
Yeah.
It's like not gonna work like that
Yeah.
because something happened, or maybe there's a GM or the owner was like, hey, look, we're trying to increase value on this player so that we can move this player.
Yeah.
So if we know that we like you and we know what you bring to the table as
Yeah.
a team, we're going to sit you this game or two, and we're going to show off this player to this team that we're playing because we're going to try to trade them
Okay.
and move them. So
It's a
it's a
business.
lot of stuff that you don't understand, and I had to learn that. And able to, if you haven't played in the G League or haven't been in the NBA, you don't understand it from a fan perspective.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's a lot of ins and outs, and I just been through that so much. But again, I had guys in my ear when I finally got there to help me navigate.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my first year, accolades wise, man, I had multiple player of the weeks in the G League. And I had multiple games with 30 plus points. I had multiple games of 30-point triple double games.
So yeah.
I got to a point I got a household name as like one of the elite guys in the G League. My agent at the time, I had NBA teams calling like, why can't we call them up?
Yeah.
Because the G League works off call ups.
Right.
My agent was like, oh, we got about 9 or 10 teams that want to call you up. But see how the rule was again. My journey is just crazy. My journey is cool.
What happened?
Because I didn't enter into the NBA draft when I left college. So remember, I chose to go to Greece, but I didn't put my name in the NBA draft. You're not eligible for a call up.
What?
You have to put your name in the draft to be eligible for a call up. So my whole first year, which was my best year, which is my hands down, everybody's like, yo, he's one of the top guards.
He should be in the NBA.
He's a household name.
Yeah.
He's cooking NBA guards that are drafted. I mean, I done played against a number of them.
I mean, even in college, you did too.
Yeah, so it's just like, and they're calling, and they can't call me up because I didn't pay my name. So I had to wait till that whole G League season was over and then put my name in the draft. If I get drafted, cool. If I don't, then I don't. Then the next year I can be called eligible. But then, I like work. So then the next year, then it comes new players, and suddenly you're not as hot that year. So it's just like, and it's just like how small like the world is.
That little window
you had choices, like that window, man.
Yeah. That's crazy. And I mean, that reminds me of your decision to go leave Delaware instead of going to LSU. Like, I'm hot right now. Let me go ahead and try to, finagle some shit. But yeah, wow. That's a hell of a journey.
Man.
Yeah. How did you handle that mentally? Like, what was going through your mind when it was something so small where it was like, all I had to do was enter my name that 1 year, and then I was called. Like, how did you handle that mentally?
Mentally, just keep going. It's like whatever the next thing is. So for me, it was just like, all right, cool. Hearing from my agent, like, hey, man, they can't call you up, but you can a lot of interest, which is why the next year, like, I had 10 NBA workouts that we draft.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. I think it's really just my personality. Like, it's always been me. I'm always upbeat, laughing, joking, want to have a good time.
Yeah.
But waking up every day, I just was like, look, this happened. It is what it is. I'm going to find a way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to find a way to do something, make something happen, and do this, and whatever comes my way next, control what I can control. All I can control is working hard and getting on the court and hooping.
Right.
They see me and they come get me, they come get me. If they don't,
That is what it is.
I was hooping, and but mentally I didn't break down.
Oh, bad. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me, I kind of function the same way. It don't matter what has happened to you, what situation you've been in, you gotta just keep on going.
Yeah, you guys with it. And there's so many examples of people who don't.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest motivation behind me.
Yeah.
And
Don't be like them. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, and I got my city tatted on me. I got because it's just the mentality. Like you see so much back home,
Yeah.
during it. Like again, like I said, navigating through all this stuff in my personal life. If you zoom out, man, I had friends. I had friends going to jail.
Mhm.
I had friends passing away and get
Yeah.
killed. I'm getting calls like, man, such and such just got killed. I remember in G League showcase, I got a call. My best friend called me, was like, man, such and such just got killed. He was just at my going away party a month ago. Like,
Yeah.
recipes roll. But yeah, just navigating that and seeing people back home or seeing this person had a mental breakdown. Now this person strung out on drugs at home. It's like, well, you see that and it hit so close to you back home. It's just like, I can't complain about what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Like, still at the end of the day, I'm professional.
Right.
I'm living you know, I'm living people's dream
Yeah,
back home.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm going city to city. I'm
Mhm.
staying at nice hotels, luxury this. I'm getting paid. I'm living in my place for free. They paying for this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's just like when you wake up, it's just like, yeah, I'm going through it, but is it really that bad?
Yeah. Right.
Versus what I see in the phone calls I get from back home.
Yeah. Yeah, that you made a good point there, and I like my wife Claire, or even just to myself, but I'll tell her like, you know, understand that we could you could not wake up tomorrow, like you could not wake up tomorrow. I got the house, you got the cars, and all this stuff. Like we live a great life,
Yeah.
and there's somebody right now that can't even eat.
Yeah. Build a dream of having it.
See what I'm saying? They're with having that, and so the last thing I'm finna do is complain. Because I'm blessed. Tell me about your experience with the slam dunk contest.
Yeah. So, actually, the story behind that is funny, and that's why I said that organization just showed me so much love, and they actually genuinely like me and my personality.
Yeah.
We did plenty of community events.
Yeah.
We did plenty of stuff behind the scenes. They used to make commercials for us,
Yeah.
have to run locally and stuff like that. It really felt like being like a star.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously there were other, we had NBA guys and they were probably, more the main attraction than I was, but
Right.
just to be a part of that, like,
Yeah.
it felt good.
Yeah. Right.
Having everybody in town, though, you walking in restaurants, walking this. I remember being pulled over by the police out there and him like, everybody, hey man, hey, go ahead and get out of here, man. Just watch the speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have never happened. You know what I mean? That's mind blowing for me.
Yeah.
When we from the cop to yo, it's like, all right, just give me the ticket.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was so much love. But so for the dunk contest, we were in a away game. I forget where we were, but it was a away game that we have. So and we went to go just practice in the gym just the day before a game.
Okay.
Standard stuff. We do scouting report, have a little practice, shoot on it.
Yeah.
Guys just joking around at the practice and just guys just dunking. Man, let me see what you got. And I just started throwing the ball up in the air, I'm windmilling, the chunky lamp doing this. And the GM for the Vipers at the time happened to be in that practice. And he never pops up on an away game.
Okay.
He was just in the Vipers. He literally pulled me to the side. I was like, do you want to do a dunk contest? I'm calling the president of the league right now. We need to dunk contest. I was the last entry into it.
Oh, for real?
I was supposed to be in it.
Oh,
Nobody knew I had tricks and stuff. Like you knew like he's athletic. But the GM saw me and was like,
That's crazy.
oh no, you got like tricks and stuff.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he got buddies.
Yeah, literally, like he said, he called the person right there at practice and was just like, yo, I got this guy at Jarvis Threatt. He needs to be in the dunk contest.
Yeah.
Like you got to see the stuff he's doing right now.
Yeah.
And then I was in it. And next thing I was flying out for All-Star Weekend like 2 weeks later. I shivered that close of a call.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. What year was that?
2014, 2015.
Oh,
I want to say 2015. It's my first year in the G League.
oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's my first year in the G League. So again, just me and a guy. I'm my own 21. I didn't come from no crazy little bad situation, but I'm
Yeah.
finally feeling like things were
Yeah,
breaking.
things aligning.
Yeah, so it was just so much love and being a part of the All-Star Weekend
Yeah.
because you're not just there just G League also.
Yeah.
It's NBA All-Stars as well.
Okay.
Mark.
Yeah.
Man, to be in a position where I go there, win that, and it's one of the only years that it's in an NBA arena. Um, I mean, it was just so much love. I mean, the people I'm getting to meet, the celebrities, I look up, I'm in sections, and the guy, because all the guys go out and hang out and do all that. You go hang out, you start to know some of the NBA players. Like just being with the Vipers, I started to know the James Harden, and I hung out with them a bunch of times in the club and stuff like that.
How was that? How was hanging out with? We all know about James Harden in the clubs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And I support him. I love it. Man, I earned All-Star Weekend out of Barclays in New York. Man, you sit up there, you look inside, you look to your left, your right, and you see this Amber Rose, this Nicki Minaj.
That's great. Yeah.
And again, I'm just a kid from Richmond, and it's like that's the stuff people just don't really even know about.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause it ain't as seen as it is now.
Yeah. You were 1%.
Just like, man, how Instagram was, how it is today, it wasn't how it was back when I was like buzzing then like that. Because I would have probably had thousands of followers or something like that, something crazy. But yeah, just going to that. I went with my homie Glenn Rice, shout out him, son of NBA Hall of Famer Glenn Rice, senior. But yeah, we went out to the club, a couple of guys from the Knicks. Went to strip club, had a ball, spun, man. It's a great time.
Yeah.
I remember going to the actual NBA All-Star game. I sat by Floyd Mayweather's bodyguards and stuff. They would sit up there by me. I think Floyd was like down on whatever he was. But yeah, I remember looking up at halftime of the NBA All-Star game when they were running my clip of the G League dunk contest.
Yeah, that's fire.
And literally people around me in the section in the stands were like, "That's you? Man, can we do you know what I mean?" It's like,
that's fire, bro.
yeah, I'm just like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different lifestyle.
A different lifestyle. Like my name and my buzz and who it felt like at that point, it's like, yeah, you're on the right track. That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Houston is a good place to be too, though.
Yeah. So it was in McAllen though.
Okay.
Yeah. So Texas. So we weren't stationed in Houston, but
yeah. So how far is that from Houston?
You gotta get on a plane. Yeah, you gotta get on a plane. It ain't a drive. McAllen, Texas is down by the border.
Okay.
So you go to that border, and they tell us when we get down there, behind the women and the Latinos, they say, do not cross that border.
Yeah.
Because cartel.
Cartel.
It was cartel. There's plenty of cartel in Skyline, Texas. Yeah, I had a driver who was in the cartel. Oh, who used to tell us stories all the time. He'll come pick me up anytime, anywhere. He would like this.
You can't make this a whole time.
I'm turned tapping.
That's crazy.
Listen, that's what I say. My journey, my story. I listen. I got asked to be on a bunch of podcasts before, but listen, come through for break.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, my job was so. I had a driver in the cartel. He did 4 years, but I'm behind doing some stuff. Obviously illegally.
Yeah.
Moving drugs back and forth to Detroit.
Yeah.
Stuff in Chicago.
That's crazy.
He would come. Yeah. I kick him $100 for the whole night, and he was a cab driver, but he would make sure, like, if I say, yo, I'm outside this club, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., come pick me up. He'll just come pick me up.
That's crazy. I had your own personal Uber.
Yeah, it was love.
Yeah.
He even took me to a spot out there with like heavy cartoons, like he said, look at everybody home. You see the tattoo, like they are.
Oh,
It's like 40 people. Yeah, and I'd have been in there and I'd have seen them get into it with like somebody else in the club.
Yeah.
You'll see 40. It's like that scene from Rush Hour. Like,
everybody
said it's just like, I've seen like then I just seen some dude get too drunk and forget where he at.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that.
That's crazy.
But they show us love out there.
Yeah.
And they love because they know the Vipers just, they look at that as like their professional team. Yeah, they show love. They ain't mess with us. I only heard of one story out there with a guy, and it was an NBA guy and got in trouble. He crossed the border. Aaron Brooks, he's the man. Ran NBA. Yeah, they said they stripped him and all that. Yeah, walk across the border naked. Yeah.
Nah. Hey. They told you not to go. They told you not to
tell her that's good. And then they not mess with their woman. So that woman is affiliated with somebody that's who might be with that. They just go to the next woman.
Yeah.
They don't have they show so much love, but as soon as you mess with their woman,
it's a problem. Yeah, I mean, just like any man, man.
Yeah. For sure.
I remember I was on vacation in Florida, and just talking about Texas as a state. Then I got flown out to Houston. But I was on vacation, and I had no business being flown out to play basketball. I had to when to go play a tournament to play for a little bit of money or what have you.
Yeah.
And got up there and I did all right, I guess. We ended up losing. Went back on vacation. Went back to vacation, but I remember when I was in Houston, I was like, "This is a place I could live," because like this, like you said, beautiful weather, beautiful women,
Yep.
and yeah, that's a state. It's not too far from Florida. I love Florida, so
I love Florida.
yeah. So yeah, that's dope. That's dope that you got to experience that. Yeah,
Yeah, I done been, and because our team was a Western Conference team, so we did majority of our stuff on the West. Like we flew and played East Coast for as well, but obviously you know how the NBA is. It's the same way. So you play those teams, but you don't play them as much as you would in your same conference. So playoff start, you going between that same conference.
yeah.
So man, I didn't Spurs and Austin, Texas, which is one of the most. I wouldn't even say it's not even like it's well known now. Austin, Texas, not even like Sixth Street. They got a little festival out there, but yeah, Austin, Houston, San Fran,
Right.
L.A. Loved one in L.A.
Yeah.
Had a ball in L.A.
Yeah,
Love it,
yeah.
man. This is stuff like man. It's, at that point, it just feel like you living the dream, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like it's a
Yeah.
mini NBA.
Yeah, I mean, as a basketball player, everybody's dream growing up is to make it to the NBA, and I still we talked about this before we started, but I mean, it's guys that's in the G League or the D League or whatever you want to call it, that can easily play in it, like yourself, for example.
Yeah.
So transitioning from there, what was next for you?
So again, I stayed in the G League for 2 more years, and then I went over to Europe and played in Romania. But so transitioning just from dunk contest in that first year, honestly, man, I ended up having a good year. We didn't make the playoffs that team. We ended up losing. But person person personally, well, just for me, like man, I played well the entire year. We also had games where guys come down and I didn't play, but numbers were great. Buzz still there, NBA stuff. Um, yeah, going into up with my name in the draft, I went to the NBA elite camp out there in Chicago, which was another great experience. Played with a bunch of guys coming out where I should have been a senior, so it's like I'm seeing the same guy.
Yeah.
They like, man, what?
Where you been at? Yeah.
But the funny part is they're looking at me like, yo, you got such a head start over us because you've already been playing against Rose.
Correct.
And honestly, I felt like that
Correct. Yeah.
because, you know, in practice, I was battling Isaiah Cannon, Nick Johnson, or Clint Capella at the time. I was working on pick and roll with him in practice.
Oh, that's
Lil Rice Jr., who a few years ago just won MVP of the NBA Summer League and, got drafted from the G League. So another guard, Teray Murray, who came down, who played on the Knicks. So, like, that's why I always tell the people, like, man, my practices and playing in games, those are NBA games.
Yeah, for sure.
At any given time, there's 7 to 8 guys that have already played in the NBA on the
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
Earl Clark that came down and played at the Lakers, who was actually a vet in the NBA, who came down and played in Rio Grande Valley Vipers. Like my big dog, like
Yeah.
he plays, he go out and drink. Like I was like, yeah, he one of us.
Yeah.
Like he grew up like that. So
Yeah.
he could.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that experience, like, bro, these are NBA guys.
Yeah.
This is NBA basketball, and like, we talked about before, like once that playoff, the level,
Yeah.
rise.
Yeah.
Because now it's the scouting point. They trying to take away everything that you do well.
Yeah.
And, you got to beat a team multiple games.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for me, go enter my name in the draft. I go work out 9 to NBA teams. I think from Phoenix, Chicago, Clippers, Wizards, Philly.
Wizards could have used you. Wizards could have used you, bro. For sure, 100%. And during that time, it's still to this day.
Rockets, And here's another part, right? So here's just now, all right. So we coming from that tough stuff with college and over in Europe, but then I finally see some little bit of success in the G League, start playing well, getting buzz. I'm back into the he should be, we got NBA teams looking at you. I'm back in that life. So hear how just like the time that you're coming out and how all of that matters and how small choices come back and haunt you. So every NBA workout and team that I had to do, and I've had to every draft workout that I had. You do your draft workout, you do your stuff on court, and then you go meet with the GM or whatever, that team, coaches and all that, and go meet, you do your draft interview. Okay. So just like a job interview, they ask you questions, they try to feel for your character, they talk about stuff. Every interview I heard asked me about my character and smoking weed and get kicked out.
All for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Everyone.
So they do the crazy research.
Oh yeah. So yeah, because they are like, oh yeah, we had eyes on you because you got to think coming from the CAA tournament, winning MVP, they go to the NCAA tournament. Like my buzz was hot, and our whole team, rightfully so. So it was eyes on that team. For Lee, Sadler, Usher, like
That's just
our trio was like we were like second for like top leading scoring trio in the nation. Like I think we were behind like Duke, like Quinn, and like some other NBA guys. But yeah, like eyes were on us, so how do we know if we give you millions of dollars, you're not gonna go smoke weed or go get in trouble with the law?
Right.
Like, man, I heard it in every interview.
Yeah.
And it's
always this Delaware.
And the NBA at this time still looked at smoking. It was still banned in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then to see it transition years later, and just like, wow,
Right.
that could have been a break. Because one of them, they already had it in their mind of my character and who I was before I even got in there.
But that don't define nobody. That's so crazy to me.
It don't. But the world always catches up slower.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been looking at it like, man, you just smoke a little bit, take the stress off, that's all. But you gotta wait for the whole world to look at it. And now it becomes legal in Colorado. And it becomes this. And now it's legal everywhere. Like, what?
Yeah.
Then the NBA, we unbanned it. In college, we don't worry about like
y'all messed up my entire career. That's so crazy. I didn't know you.
That's what I heard. That was workout. Wizards. I had a great workout of the Wizards.
Yeah.
I lost one-on-one through like 10 NBA workouts.
Yeah.
Because that was more of my game, like just getting balls. Yeah. But it went right to the rack and layup.
Yeah. Man, that's it's crazy to hear that. One of my old teammates was going through all that. I didn't even know.
Yeah, man. It just happened behind the scenes. It's so much behind the scenes. And like I said, the type of person I am, like I'm not gonna social media was different how it is now, but like I'm not getting on social media explaining all this. I ain't doing my thought process is when I wake up, just move forward. When I go to an NBA workout, let me get on the court, let me chill.
Yeah.
Like I got plenty of names and them things. I had one guy, what's his name? He ended up, his agent, he was a big name coming out in college. His agent made him sit out workout with me. That's how they play chess. NBA workout.
Okay.
His agent called my agent and said that if he's going there, then we're gonna sit our guy out because we don't want your guy to hurt his draft stock. And it's just because he's a G League guy. He's already torched and been killing in the G League. He's played against pros. He knows the pro game a little because the pro game is different than college basketball.
No, for sure.
With just how like the sets and stuff that they run. So it was like, no, we sitting them out first time.
Yeah.
And I had other guys that I got, they were college stars at the time. I got TJ McConnell. I got a chance to go up against him.
Good. You nice with it?
No, I did him dirt.
Oh,
What? You know what I'm saying? Me and my brother laughed at that today. He like, oh man, look at you. And I'm just like, I respect it. Because I attached them a journey. But yeah, and I can say that about a bunch of NBA guys. So it ain't just to target him specifically, but because at the end of the day, it don't matter your name, what school, how high major. Once you get on court, you gotta play basketball.
Yeah.
You gotta play basketball.
And you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's me and you. All of that, what they write about you in articles, all this because they can spice that up. This guy's born from Duke. Really, there's a guy at the mid-major that could probably torch him. saying he was guy, he come from Duke or something. So yeah, man, I got all of them in them workouts, but that's what I heard in them interviews at that time. So
That's so crazy.
and you know, like I said, hindsight is 2020. That small decision in college. Yep, I had a bunch of them. Rockets. They told me they were going to draft me. I went in there. I seen they. I go back in their office, and I could see for their point guard position who they had it there 1, 2, and 3. And they had my name up there like, all right, he's the third. He's our third option for point guard. Like he draft him, we'll put him at number 3. And just came around, told me that lie, and they, you know what I mean. But it happened so much. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that can tell you. The team said they were gonna draft him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened.
That's crazy.
My journey, yeah.
Yeah. That's a hell of a journey, bro.
Right. But that's why I said I can help my son navigate through that.
Yeah.
For me.
Speaking of your son, transition into what you do now, right? Tell me about, you father first. You talked about being in the IT world. First of all, how does it feel to be a father nowadays?
Man, it's amazing. So it's just like being outside of my body and watching a younger me.
Yeah.
So it's just the same. Some of the stuff that he does, the stuff that he says,
Yes.
the jokes he do. Sometimes I just like you try to be man. Hey, don't do that. Yeah, I find myself breaking down laughing and be like, man, that's something.
As the son, same thing I would do.
I go to my mom's house. He loves being with his Gigi. Man, she say, well, you doing exactly what your dad used to do. You do the same thing. Yeah. He just running around laughing. He watched little videos of my dunk contest and all this. He go tell his classmates and teachers.
Yeah.
He told one of his teachers, my dad used to play with Michael Jordan. Said, son, that's all right.
Bro.
All right. I ain't played with no Michael Jordan. Hold on. So take it down enough. Daddy played where
I ain't that old, son.
Yeah. But yeah, like he enjoys it. He enjoys basketball. I enjoy being able to guide him in that aspect and just be around him in general. So the fatherhood is amazing.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's the center of your attention every day.
Yeah.
Everything, every move you make is centered around your son.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you do for work nowadays?
So me now, I'm in IT. I'm a system administrator. I won't put the company out there just for, but just for that privacy with IT is a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm in IT. I love technology. And it took me a lot to get to that point, honestly, because like I said, life after basketball.
Mm-hmm.
When you've been doing the same thing your entire life, since I've been 5 or 6, I've been playing basketball. Right. My life's been centered around basketball nonstop. Yeah. AAU, rec leagues, middle school, high school. We tried at 7 to 8 years old. My parents, we were traveling to Florida. They were flying us to here. We were going to Memphis. We were going here playing the tournaments.
Yeah.
I got shout out my team Richmond guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were very, very good.
Yeah.
We smacked everybody around here.
Okay.
But me, Travis, Jordan, Trey Davis, Dallas Simmons.
I remember that team.
Yeah, I got shout out. Guys, we did our thing. But my life was centered around basketball. So now when you take that away, life after basketball, it's just like, what do you do?
What do you do next? Yeah.
Or like, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
I ain't never had just days where it's just like, well, I ain't got practice. I don't have no schedule.
Just so many things.
Yeah, you honestly, you go through a stage of depression, and it hits everybody. I feel like you go through like what am I gonna do with my life?
Right.
Who am I? People don't look at me the same. I had all the buzz, the name I walked through, and I know the club owners. I know this, I know that.
Yeah.
I could fly to this city and plug you in with this, but now that slowed down, and it's just like, who am I? What do I do?
Right.
That's before you even get to how am I gonna make money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or what's gonna be my career? So, I think just like anybody, I went through my stages of depression and just really had to try different things.
Mm-hmm.
So try working here. Did some stuff at MCV Health, but then realized like, hey, look, to go up in the health field, you will need some type of college degree or something. At least then.
Yeah.
So just like, hey, let me pivot and we change it. I'm like, I had somebody introduce me and like, man, why don't you try IT? Like, I'm always playing the Xbox. I'm always doing stuff on a computer, iPad. I was just like, man, this.
Yeah.
okay, I actually like it.
Yeah,
So
it's good money in IT too.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, all right, so the hard part was over. Now it's like, all right, now you just got to hone in and work on your skill. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that life after basketball is real.
Yeah, it is, and I talk about that in season 1, of my autobiography.
Yeah.
Um, that was hard. That was a hard season for me. I still kinda struggle with it, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Same.
Because I started playing basketball when I was, like, 11 or 12 years old, but, um, I started a little bit later, but from 12 until up until I was, what, 28, 29, that's all I did. Playing in the ABA, it's not like, you got practice every day and, stuff like that, but it kept me around the game,
Yeah.
and that's
Good
just
for you, man.
it's good for your mental, but, um, yeah, that's not talked about enough.
It really not.
Yep.
I would love to like write a book, do an autobiography, because or something, or something to just get the awareness out there. Like you said, I mean, even well for my journey specifically, but just tailor towards life after basketball, because it's just for somebody who's in it right now, you never think it's gonna end.
Right.
Like when you're in college, you ain't. It's nowhere in Delaware we was thinking about being right here,
No,
right now.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's just like as a kid, you don't think about any of that. You just like, I'm set on. I got practice at this time. I got class. I got to go here, and then we got a game on this day. You set on. Hey man, I'm gonna go to the NBA or at least go professional.
Mhm.
So, and that life after basketball is real, man. I remember days just waking up and it's just like I have nothing to do.
Right. Right.
I have nothing to do.
What's on the agenda today?
Yeah, what should I do? There's no all the structure came from being tailored around basketball.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you do when you have all the time in the world?
Yeah.
Which is like, you got to find that new passion. I've always been passion driven. I have to have a passion.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah.
have to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I like you doing the pot. I have to have something that
Yeah.
I like to do.
Right.
I
Right.
can't. I could work a job that I don't like. That's cool, but I gotta have something that I like to do.
Yeah.
What's that? Or else,
Yeah.
that's how people fall in that mental trap,
Mhm.
and they contemplate things like suicide,
Mhm.
and depression kicks in, get heavy.
Yeah.
The drinking, the smoking, or trying other drugs.
Mhm.
So that's what kind of keep you straight is just like find a passion
Yeah.
or something
So
that you like to do.
yeah. 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 The passion piece of it, the setting goals for yourself, because I talk about that in season 1 too. My choice of drug was cocaine.
Yeah.
So for me, and that's a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug. So it's easy you know, to go down that road, and then it's hard to break it though. And so when it comes to basketball and having that, this is all I know.
Yeah.
That transition into the real world is what I call it, the real world. Um, back obviously basketball to me that's real too, but talk about like the world of working, business.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Two different worlds.
it's 2 different worlds.
Learning that in the career and maneuvering in the work world.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
that's another thing.
It don't matter how high you get up, like with basketball say, per se, once you go to the work world, you're starting back at ground zero.
Yeah.
I'm starting back at ground zero.
Yeah.
And that's what I would like tell athletes, young athletes.
Yep.
Like, obviously, make as much money as you can. Obviously, if you make enough to never have to work ever again, that's cool. But like majority of people, and even guys in the NBA that make those $100 million years, 5 years they broke.
Yes.
So it's more likely than not you're gonna have to do something else outside of basketball and make money. So
Yeah,
I would just tell kids, hey man, budget and at least have something else that you like to do
for sure.
outside of basketball
For sure.
because you ain't gonna be able to play forever.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep. The only one guy that's really doing that right now.
Man,
And your brother.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. If a young athlete is watching this, who's scared of setbacks, what would you tell them?
Um, well, you'll never accomplish anything if you're scared of setbacks. Again, that yeah, the saying is, well, what everybody say, your failures teach you a little bit more about yourself than success. If you just succeed at everything you do,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great, but it just doesn't happen for
Yeah,
everybody.
you're not learning though.
Yeah, you're not learning anything. So you're gonna learn more about yourself and who you are um, from setbacks. So don't be afraid of it. Just take it on the chin. Whatever you go through, um, whatever you endure through your career, your journey, man, embrace it. Because once your journey's over, it's not gonna be no going back from it.
Right, correct.
You get what I'm saying? So everything that you go through in basketball, it all aligns and builds to your character and your journey. Well, the journey is unique. So man, I embrace my journey. Um, Again, hindsight is 2020. So there's always things you can look back on and think, hey, I should have did this or did that. But um, you know, while it's going on, embrace it and just try to get as much out of yourself and out of your game, your work ethic, everything as you can. Because when it's done, it's done.
Yeah, yeah. 100% agree. Obviously, we all could probably, and there's not one person walking this earth that will sit here and say, "Yeah, I've done everything 100%
Yeah.
total
Yeah.
tough," you know.
Yeah, ain't nobody doing everything perfect first time. So
Yeah, yeah. But the one thing that you said that resonates with me is the simple fact that if something has happened and I know it's not good for me, I'm gonna try my best not to let it happen again. I'm not gonna repeat the history of that. In fact, I'm gonna learn from it,
yeah,
and I'm gonna use it to my benefit.
that's the only way you become wise. That's the only way you learn is, you gotta go through stuff.
Yeah,
Um, you're gonna make mistakes, but you can't be afraid of it.
yeah,
But, I mean, nobody gets everything right the first time. So, that's my biggest thing. For any young player out there that's um, trying to navigate the basketball world, hey, go with your gut feeling. Obviously, keep a close core of friends, and you got to have your team of people that that tell you what's right and the honest stuff.
yeah,
Because you don't want to have people that are just yes men in your circle. We see that too often with so many guys that the people around them just say yes to everything, and
yeah.
nobody's being honest with them. So
Mhm.
I think that's one of the best things for me is I had a good circle.
Yeah,
And that was just my family and maybe some close friends that just like, hey, this and that, or hey, look, this was on you, or college. Like, you need that in your circle and
yeah,
that'll help you move forward. So,
yeah,
but having setbacks or, failing at something, it's going to happen.
yeah. It's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
you're a perfect example of how to respond to it.
Yep.
Because I mean, hearing your story, man, through this segment, I'm like, I'm this is kind of crazy. And so, like Jarvis said, if whatever you may be going through, just learn from it, move on. Once you start to dwell on something, that's when bad things, but they can get bad.
And that's when you just let it have a trickle down effect.
Yeah,
I mean, this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. And it's happened for me. So I've had instances where something happened or something else happened or something. So your mindset is everything.
yeah,
So, I just always just try to be as positive as I can.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been in situations, I've had, the depression has kicked in. You start drinking a little too much, start doing this too much.
Mhm,
And, you just got to snap yourself out of it and try to wake up and find something positive.
mhm.
Find something that's a passion that
Yeah,
help you get out of it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I 100% agree with that. What's one truth about success that took you years to learn?
Um, Probably what we just talked about. That it doesn't happen right the first time.
Yeah,
Like you often think of somebody being successful. It doesn't matter what actor, job, business, whatever. You look at them now and how successful they are, and all the accolade, the money, the cars, or whatever, and you just think that their trajectory of their journey was just straight up.
yeah,
And that couldn't be, more false, honestly. That couldn't be that's the
yeah.
furthest
That's
thing from
super
the truth.
close.
Yeah, that's the furthest thing from the truth in most scenarios. It's them just continuing to not give up.
Right.
So it's like this.
Mhm.
And then it's like, yeah, then you hit and you find you find that groove. So, that's my biggest thing. It's just learning like, hey man, you can still be successful even though you had an issue or had a trouble with this, or you had a setback here,
Mhm.
or you failed at this, but that doesn't mean you're gonna fail at this.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? So, and I had to learn that, like I said, life after basketball, pivoting and even in the work world, it's like maybe I wasn't as good at this, but that don't mean I can't be good at this.
Right, right, right.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing for me.
yeah. And I would venture to say, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but a lot of the things that I learned from basketball, I'm able to apply to what I do nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, no, yeah.
and that's what that actually we actually have kind of a foot forward over everybody. It's very important as far as I always try to talk. I always tell people about everything that basketball has taught me, from being on time, from talking with respect, all these things that I've learned from basketball. That's that's the real reason why I'm able to be a business owner nowadays, or for you to be successful in the IT world.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I learned from basketball, I just apply it to my business. That's it.
Yeah, man, it teaches you that early on,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, you'd be surprised how many people struggle following a schedule, being on time to do it. So this point, man, or having a structure to their whole day. You'd be surprised at how many people struggle with working in a group,
Right.
collaborating, communicating.
Yep.
These are all skills that we learned since, being in middle school or AAU or this, how to play as a team, how to play in a group,
Right.
how to go to college and play with somebody who's not of the same race or same culture, how to communicate with this. And, for me, like in navigating through basketball and being in rooms with people that are millionaires, that are GMs, that are owners, that are billionaires, and, how to code switch,
Mhm.
those are skills that apply to the real
Skills.
world.
For sure.
Um, and I think, like you said, that's definitely a leg up on somebody who's just, hasn't experienced that. So
Yeah.
they're going into the work world and they're uncertain about how to do some of those things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard whenever I interview or do stuff like that, people are always excited. Oh, you play basketball? I'm like, yes. And they say, man, we love athletes because they already learned how to work as a team, how to communicate, how to collaborate with other teammates and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a leg up.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a leg up. I mean, some of the I want to say at my company, some of the best workers I've hired are ex athletes.
Yeah.
And like you said, to your point, just those things that we are taught just by default in sport.
Yeah.
Um, very important. When your story is told years later from now, what do you hope the headline says?
I don't know about headline, but I just hope they just speak about, two things. Obviously, me as a player on the court. I want them to always know, like, man, he was a killer on the court.
Yeah.
That's all. I want that to be away from what college you went to, or did he go to the NBA or not, or whatever. I want the respect of when he's on that court, he's a killer.
Yeah.
And I feel like with my peers and people that I played with, played against, NBA players, whatnot, regardless of whether I'm in the NBA or not, they respect me on that court.
Not yet, for sure.
And I just think I wanted to be that. Like, it don't matter about who writes what articles and what people did. I want the respect of, hey, look, he's a killer on that court. As a man, just man that I was revealing. So the headline, man, it's got to be something like that. One of those two things, man. A killer on the court, Brazilian person, great father at home, great person, cheerful personality. I'm always just cool. You can come kick it with me.
Yeah.
We was cool, homeboys, whatever.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So, something gotta happen for me to not, be cool with somebody before. Anymore. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's leaving.
Yeah. And the last question I asked everybody the same question. And you may have already talked about it, or it could be about something that has happened to you, or something that you just want to bring up in topic that's not talked about enough. But what's one untold truth you want to tell the audience?
Well, I think I'll just harp on and stick on the life after basketball, man.
Yeah.
Mental health is a big factor.
Yeah.
And I just think you see it so much with people in everyday life. And, even myself, I've experienced it, and just being down, being depressed, not wanting to leave out the house, or relying on, substances or anything to get through, man. It's something that definitely monitor, and, don't be afraid to go to therapy or get help for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
that's what I would say. Because
Yeah.
it's more normal than everybody thinks. And even if you are doing well in life or whatever you're doing, um, shoot, you could think that you feeling all right, and you could still be experiencing some of them symptoms.
For sure.
You know, like,
For sure.
you know, it took me to really look out in hindsight and be like, man, yo, I really think I'm depressed.
Yeah.
But like even still day to day, like I could have been laughing and joking in the house or whatever, but it's just like, yo, like, man, I need to go out and socialize or go be with some of the homies or something. Or go have a guys' night out and do something. Like I'm a little depressed. Like I need to, you know, I'm laughing and cheerful, but you know, mentally wise, I need to do some of that. So and pull myself out of that. So um yeah, for me, just man, take care of your mental health.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the best ones that I've heard so far because that is very important. Without the brain, you know, the body's nothing, you know. So you heard it here first, or first, second, maybe third. But
Yeah, learn
you have Jarvis Threatt here. Appreciate you for coming on today.
for sure anytime.
Yes, sir.
No, I had to come through for you.
Yes, sir. So thanks for watching the Untold Truth. Again, we're here to talk about, like Jarvis said, the mental health piece of it, how to be better in life, how to continue to move forward despite what's going on with you. Check out the next episodes, and you know we'll continue to move forward. But appreciate y'all watching.
Yes, sir.